Hello, we're here with Rachel with Hillberg Berk. I said it right. Okay, and I'm very excited to have you here. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you.
And thank you for being here. You're
My
a
pleasure.
big inspiration for many, many women, and not only business-wise, but what you're doing with your business, which is helping. So for people that don't know, because we see your name, we see your brand all over the place, but there's a lot of people that don't know, like the basis of it, the love that has behind it. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure, so what we do is make jewelry, but at our core we are a purpose-driven brand, which to us, our purpose is empowering and inspiring women through our brand. So we work with community organizations across the country to give a portion of our sales back to support organizations that share the same values as our organization to support and empower women. So we work with charities across Alberta and Saskatchewan, and really from coast to coast to really share the same vision that we do. That's kind of part of what we do. Another part of it is really just like, how do we run our business and ensure that like out of the 200 staff that we have, 97 or 98% of them are women. How do we, create that culture to give women an amazing opportunity throughout our brand? How do we work with our suppliers to also ensure that our suppliers are meeting standards of economic empowerment of women as well? So we really look at it from a holistic lens of how can we impact the empowerment of women through our being as a business.
Oh my God. And that's very inspiring. And I do want to ask you, because I know, for how long have you been in the business? Like really since you started? It's been a while, right?
Yeah, it's been, I started my first company, Urban Pearl Accessories, 15 years ago, and then rebranded as Hillberg Berk 12 years ago.
So it's been a while, but I'm sure in that whole process, there's been downs. I was going to say ups and downs, but I'm sure there's more downs when you get to a point when you're very successful. And I've heard many businessmen say, man, woman, say, well, you have to go deep down, right? There's more downs than ups, and that's where you learn. So there's a lot of people that are watching right now and are in those downs and have no idea if they're going to go out, what are they going to do? And they're about to say, you know what? I'm done. I'm going to an office. I'm working for someone else.
Yep.
So can you share that experience or those emotions that you went through when you were down?
Yeah, I mean, there certainly are way more downs than there are ups, and the ups are wonderful and they sustain you, but also the downs keep you grounded and humble and teach you incredibly valuable lessons of how to pivot, of how to like refine your business strategy so that you're doing the right things at the right time, and those lessons are critical. And so it's, although some people might view them as failures, I don't view them as failures. They're really just like critical lessons that you have to learn to continue to iterate your business and grow with the time in business that is changing faster than it ever has before.
At that time, now that time has passed and that you are in an amazing position right now, and now you see it as, it was good that I went through those downs. It was a lesson I learned from it. But at that time, were you about to say, you know what, I'm done, forget about this jewelry, I'm not good for this? Did you go through that?
There certainly have been many emotional highs and lows, and there have been many times when I've been in tears and I'm not sure how I will figure out the problem or the situation that I'm in. But, I think it's really important that you surround yourself with positive people who will love you and encourage you even at your darkest moments. And so for sure I've had those moments, and I still do. And it's during those times that I turn to people in my life that I know are my champions and my supporters, and people who can help me not only remind me of the value in myself and in the brand that I've built, but also the importance of navigating that difficult situation, finding the opportunities and the learning lessons in it to reshape the future of the business going forward.
Now that you talked about that, I want to ask you, there's many books that people recommend, successful people recommend. And in most of those books, the main thing is get up and do it, right? Take the risk. Forget about the fear. You'll go over it. But there's another thing that most of the books that talk about business mention, and that's surrounding yourself with people that are positive speakers, right? That have gone through some challenges, but have past those challenges, what would you say? Do you surround yourself by very successful people, happy, positive people?
That's a non-negotiable. You have to, because there are so many ups and downs, and really, especially when you're starting out, entrepreneurship is an emotional roller coaster until you kind of build that like resiliency to the ups and downs of business. It's a non-negotiable if you don't surround yourself with positive people who will support you and encourage you and remind you, and also be okay with the failures that you're about to go through. I think it's like almost impossible to navigate. You really do need that network of your people and a peer network of other entrepreneurial people and people who get what you're going through is pretty critical in the startup phase.
Is there any book that you would recommend for people to read?
Yeah, I mean, so many have shaped the way that I think about business and building a brand. Malcolm Gladwell is an author that I love. Seth Godin is an author that I love. And I think they're just like thinkers that really challenge the way that brands have been built and people think about building businesses. And so those have certainly shaped the way that I have thought about building my business.
Nice. Well, thank you very much. Just to finish the interview, is there a message that you would like to send to all the ladies that are watching? And
I mean, our message at Hillberg Berk is that each one of us has this powerful and unique sparkle inside of us, these gifts that we need to share with the world. And we live in this incredible country where we have opportunities here that women all over the world do not have. And I think there's a bit of an obligation that women, as Canadian women, we rise up, stand together, and truly empower ourselves and support and empower one another to share their unique gifts and what we call sparkle with the world.
Yay! I imagine some fireworks going, woo! Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Thank you.